Hi Simmers, and welcome to my cottagecore inspired fairy dust sand witch home build. Before you get scared and click off the video, no, it does not have 19 minutes. It has about 14, but because I did something different at the end with the tour, make it more aesthetic and cutesy and nice, it takes a bit longer. But I am more pleased with it. So there's that. Anyway, the build was inspired by a post on Instagram that I don't remember the exact words of, but it was something along the lines of, "Oh, I wanna live in the forest and have a mushroom house." And I instantly thought, oh yeah, totally. I do. I wanna live in the forest in a mushroom house, obviously. Why can't I live in a mushroom house? Good thing that my Sims can live in a mushroom house. So I went ahead and built my mushroom house. Except no Sim can live in it, because it's buggy as hell, because of all the scaled up plants. Also, I thought it was an original idea, but then I checked and like 5 other people already did it, and probably better than me. So go ahead and watch that too. But, you know, I tried. Now, I started by pulling a bunch of plants and that tree from the debug menu, which I didn't show because I hate the debug menu and it takes me way too long to find anything in it. It's just a mess. So I jumped straight ahead to me scaling up the plants and doing the general landscaping and the walls and the build shape of the house, you know, all that jazz. And yes, it looks phallic. And Freud would have a lot to say about my build. But I tried my best and I did not know how to fix that and still have it look like an actual mushroom. I did what I could, okay? Anyway, when I first started building this, I wanted it to be very functional because I thought I would plane it a bit. Turns out I can't, but that was the general intention. So I went back and forth and tried to get the sim inside the house, and I couldn't. And I didn't understand why at first, because I actually tried to build this once again, not fully, but just the general shape of it, so I know what I had to do and see if I can actually do what I have in mind. And it worked perfectly. Turns out, because I didn't use the same tree as I used the first time, the grid of this one was huge and it overlapped the house, so the game thought there was an object in the house, and I just ended up changing the tree. You can't even see it if you're not looking up. And it's for nothing because I still can't play in it. But you know, it doesn't really matter now, does it? So at first this was supposed to be a fairy house. I kind of imagined that fairies from The Sims 3 would be living here, but because we don't have the Sims from The Sims 3 in The Sims 4, I decided to go with a witch instead, because she's the most close to a fairy that we have. The closest to fairies that we have in The Sims 4. From all the occults, of course. So I built in one of the towers a little witch room with a little cauldron and some potions and stuff like that. It's cutesy. But instead of that, everything is just fit for any nice cottagecore cute person who wants to live in a mushroom in the forest. And I'm pretty proud of how this build came out. There are some stuff I wish I would change, but I never go back to change them once I finish a build, so that's just what it is. I'm not sure about the windows, but I used those because I wanted the house to have windows so you can look outside. And the ones that I used are the closest in color to the color of the walls. And that's kind of the best I could do. I also painted the inside to look like the inside of a mushroom, even though it probably would have looked cuter and cozier if I used other type of walls and maybe a wooden flooring, but I wanted it to feel like a mushroom, or as close to a mushroom as I could. So on the ground floor I built a kitchen, a dining room, a dining space, not a dining room, a living room, which is also a living space, and a little study nook office type of room. I don't know what you want to call it. I at first wanted to build the bathroom on the ground floor too, only because I feel like this makes the most sense to have a bathroom on the ground floor where every sim that visits your house can access easily. I find it very annoying when they have to get up the stairs to go to the bathroom, but I didn't want to change the floor plan, so the only places I could fit it was in the study space or above the study space. And none of that made sense to me because of the ladder, because I either had to have a room above the bathroom that you access from the bathroom, and no room makes sense, or I had to have a room under the bathroom that has access to the bathroom, but it felt very weird to have an open floor on another room. So what I ended up doing was building a bathroom on the tallest floor so I can access it from the bedroom with a ladder. I now realize that it's pretty stupid because I wanted to have a bathroom on the ground floor and I ended up having it on the tallest one. But you know, sometimes things don't work out the way you want them to. So, the color scheme I wanted to have for this house was white, pink, and some type of brown wood. Mainly because you can't build anything in The Sims without using at some point some kind of brown wood, or so I think. But that's okay because it makes things more cozy. The pink and white was because of the whole cutesy cottagecore strawberry dressy inspired vibe that I had in mind. That's only on the ground floor because upstairs I didn't like any bed that had those colors, or not enough. So I went with white and yellow instead, and that's great because I really like the way that room turned out. But downstairs the only place that doesn't have pink in it is the kitchen, because the only pink counters are those horrible counters, the cheap ones from the base game, and I just refuse to place those down. They look, they're horrible. They're just horrible. So here I am cluttering up the kitchen. I really like the kitchen clutter in The Sims. I think they have some really nice items that can really make a house lived in. And I also feel like the kitchen is one of the most important places in a home to make it feel lived in, because you'd be cooking there and eating and stuff like that. Anyway, I don't even know what I'm searching for here. Oh, right. The tomatoes. I placed some debug tomatoes on there because I don't really know why. I just felt like I did not have enough clutter. I did. I totally did. I had enough clutter. But I tried to place the potions. I ended up just scratching that because they would either be too low or too high, and they wouldn't look like they sit on what I wanted them to sit, the fridge and all that jazz. But here I am building the study nook. It's a simple room. It only has a few items. I placed a desk and bookcase and some clutter. I think a flower, you know, just the usual. The desk isn't actually functional because I placed a clutter book right in the middle, so the sim can't actually get their laptop there or write homework or anything. But I don't know, I don't feel like it matters, I just don't. But I just cluttered it up, and I also placed some little crystals around. I did that in the whole house actually, because it gives it a more witchy vibe. I placed both crystals and that little voodoo doll because I really wanted the house to feel like it's lived by a witch. And I also remembered to put the bin. Amazing. I don't have much options, many options. I don't have many options for pictures because they don't really fit the vibe that I had in mind for the house. So I kind of repeat the same pictures over and over again. But you know, that's fine too. And here I am building the witch tower. It's a very small room, so it doesn't have a lot of stuff in it, but I placed a cauldron and I made sure it's functional even if it's a bit off. And the rest is just those little bug lamps that I really love. They're called wall lights, not lamps, but anyway. And a bunch of potions on shelves. And I really like the way that turned out. I thought it would be off-putting because of the way they sit on the shelves, but it's not. And I also placed a little pot with lavender, as well as some familiar orbs, because they are and look very witchy. And the idea behind the pot with lavender and also the herbs on the wall was that maybe she'd be brewing her little potions and she'd just grab some lavender from there and throw it in the cauldron, and some little herbs from the wall and also throw them in the cauldron. I don't know, I really like witchy stuff. But I really thought that the room that I was gonna like the most was going to be the living room, but actually it turns out that my favorite room is this one that I'm going to build right now, which is the bedroom. It's just something about the color scheme that gets me. I switched to yellow. And I don't know why, because I am a very purple person. I love purple to an unhealthy extent. But I don't know, it's just something about this sunflower yellow that just really speaks to me in this build. I actually forgot completely about the sunflower swatch on the bed, and I just find it so pretty that I don't know how I just missed it up until now. It's just so cute. And because of the bed, I went with the sunflower theme in the whole room. Now, there are things that I wish that I had done differently. The room has two sides, as you can see. There's the sleeping area with the bed and the mirror and just the cozy room that I personally want to go sleep in on, or cuddle in, or I don't know, just anything, be there. And there's also the dresser with the chair area and some clutter. And now I wish that I had put a rug in the dresser area, but I didn't, and I am not going back to builds. And also I wish that I had separated the rooms with a wall, with an actual wall, because it looks really odd the way the room is just open in that spot. It would have looked much better with a wall and a door or an archway or anything. Just put anything there. It just really looks odd, like this, but it doesn't matter that much. And upstairs I built the bathroom, which I don't show on camera because I find bathrooms incredibly boring. There is just a toilet. There's not much to them. It's a very rare occasion that I look at the bathroom and I'm like, oh yes, look at my bathroom, it's so pretty. No, it's just the place where my Sims poop. But you are going to see a little bit of that at the end. And I think this is all for today. See you in my next video, and if you're not bored by now, you can watch my last videos, which I think are some medieval series builds and some rant videos about EA drama. See ya!